Good morning.
What's up, everyone? This is BrolyLSSJ01 here, and I know it's Tuesday. It's late. It's 2 days late. I wanted to get this review of Battleground 2016 done right after the pay-per-view was over, but I was fucking tired. Monday, I was really busy. I was trying to get the video uploaded, and then the file got corrupted, so I got to reshoot the whole thing. Thankfully, I didn't delete my notes of what I thought about the pay-per-view. I thought it was freaking amazing. I'll get that out right now. Uh, was it the best pay-per-view of all time? No, I don't think anything will top WrestleMania 17. But it was a pretty good pay-per-view, and, since the draft, since yesterday on Monday, and will continue tonight on SmackDown Live on Tuesday, the draft seems to be doing pretty well. Uh, like I said, I only do pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-view reviews. I don't do Raw and SmackDown reviews, because there's plenty of other people who do that. So, yeah, I didn't watch the pre-show because I didn't bother. I didn't even bother because they never really put on anything too exciting, really, in terms of matches, so I didn't even bother. From what I heard, it was pretty shit. So, anyway, let's get on to the main show. The first match opened up with the women's tag match. It wasn't for the title, obviously, because there is no women's tag team title. It was Charlotte and Dana Botch. Oh, my bad, Brooke. Yeah, Dana Brooke botches a lot, so we call her Dana Botch now. Anyway, they took on Sasha Banks and her mystery partner, which all the rumors before the show were saying it was going to be Bayley. Some people say it was going to be Nia Jax, and it's a whole bunch of rumors. And all those rumors about Bayley, it was right. She came out to explosion, a standing ovation. The wacky inflatable two men came out, and then it was pretty hyped to see her come in. But it wasn't the entrance that I wanted because, just as a mystery partner, it made it kind of obvious that it was going to be some kind of surprise. Because it's always like that. So, the match itself was, it was decent, I guess. But, the main hype was just that Bayley came out, got a standing ovation. She didn't really do much, though, but Charlotte tapped out to the Banks statement by Sasha Banks, and then her and Bayley hugged it out at the end and gave a little moment there. So, yeah, it was a decent match. I won't say it's the greatest match or anything like that. It was alright. Just the main focus about that was just that Bayley debuted. Well, wasn't really on the main roster. It was just a one-time appearance. Because you got to think about NXT, because they don't have another Bayley to replace her spot yet in the women's division for NXT. So I was kind of surprised that opened the show, but, what else would they open the show with? Anyway, next was the New Day versus the Wyatt family. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of these two stables, but I was actually pretty interested in this feud because the build-up with this match was pretty cool. The whole Wyatt family compound, swamp fight thing was pretty freaking sick, but I don't think it'll top Brother Nero's deletion. And so, yeah, and you can tell I'm wearing a shirt of Brother Nero, so how coincidental. Anyway, the match itself was okay. There was a little segment with Xavier Woods and Bray Wyatt, and he fought him off for a little bit, which was cool because the whole intimidation thing was building up for weeks and weeks and weeks of Xavier. He was just very scared and hypnotized by Bray Wyatt. So yeah, he did fight them off for a bit, but then in the end he took the Sister Abigail and then got pinned 1, 2, 3, and the Wyatt family wins. It wasn't for the titles though, so New Day still tag team champions. They're probably going to lose it at SummerSlam to Enzo and Cass, which I hope happens because they are red hot as a tag team. So, yeah, but it didn't mean as much. If it was for the titles, then it would have meant a lot more, and I'm pretty sure if it was for the titles, New Day would have retained because they seem to be on a really big hot streak right now. So, yeah. Like I said, the match itself, it was okay for what it was, but the build-up was pretty damn sick. The third match was time for me to take a little nap because Rusev's fucking boring as shit, man. Oh, man, he defended against someone who shouldn't be, but unfortunately is a jobber, Zack Ryder. So I didn't even really watch. I was just on my iPad the whole time, so I wasn't really paying attention because Rusev's so bad. He puts me to sleep all the time. And then all you little horny fanboys are defending him just because he liked to jack off to Lana. So, he retains, no surprise, and then Mojo Rawley comes out, and then he's fucking like shouting at the top of his lungs at Rusev. So I guess they're bringing in the Hype Bros from stable down from NXT. So that's cool, I guess. Hopefully Zack Ryder won't be a jobber anymore because he deserves better. And that's the thing. It's like he got over from the internet fan, and then just because Vince's little old ass is like, oh, I gotta build up the stars. You can't do it yourself. We're gonna make you a jobber. Fuck you, Vince. Anyway, the first match was the fucking show stealer, one of the hypest matches of the night, and I'm gonna say this right now. It was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I love both guys. I love their feud. I want them to keep this going. They said it was gonna be the last encounter tonight, but I highly doubt it. Probably gonna have another match at SummerSlam because these guys could fight forever, and I will never get bored of it because these guys are amazing in what they do. Owens is a great heel. He's fucking hilarious on the mic. He's a hilarious trash talker, and for a chubby guy, he's pretty damn athletic, which, says something because I'm kind of chubby, so I'm kind of chubby and I'm kind of athletic, so yeah, I guess you could say I'm inspired by the GOAT, Kevin Owens. So, yeah, I'm going to say something right now, though. This was up there as a Match of the Year candidate. Same thing with their match at Payback and the Nakamura versus Zayn. Sami Zayn's been putting on Match of the Year candidates all this year. He's definitely going to be like a world champion someday, and he deserves it. So does Kevin Owens. He deserves a world championship shot someday. So, like I said, they said this was going to be the last encounter, but I highly doubt it. There was a lot of hype counters in this match. I highly recommend, if you missed the pay-per-view, you should go watch it, because this match in particular was fucking amazing. There was so many false finishes, so many counters to moves, and there was like a moment where like Sammy, he like botched a landing, and he like he was trying to bounce off the ropes, but I don't know if it was a botch cover up or not, but like he landed on his shoulder, and I felt bad because that's where he was injured before. And then they covered it up by having Owens like target that area like it was an intentional spot, but I think it was just a botch cover up. But who cares? These guys are still amazing at what they do. It's an amazing match. As expected, it was probably match of the night. Zayn got the victory here because Owens got the victory at Payback. Payback was fucking Kevin Owens' night. Now, I'm just gonna say that was his night. So they decided to give Zayn the win here, which I don't mind because, like I said, I love both guys. So the second Helluva Kick in a row, because he did like the sick combo of just all his signatures, and he did a Helluva Kick to Owens, and then he caught him, and then he looked around for a bit, like left and right, and then he's just like, all right, I'm gonna give him another one, and then he gave it to him, and then 1, 2, 3, and then Owens stood down, laid down for the pin. Great match from these two, as expected. And then the fifth match was nothing too spectacular. It was Becky Lynch versus Natalya. They're trying to build up Natalya as this heel. She was getting a lot of heel heat, like trying to talk shit to the fans. So it was good because it's building up her heel persona, if you will. But she made Becky tap out to the sharpshooter. So it wasn't a spectacular match by any means. If you missed it, you didn't really miss much because nothing really happened. It was pretty much a glorified squash match in Natalya's favor. And then the sixth match was another take in that match, as I call it, which is The Miz defending against Darren Young. And I was kind of interested in this whole make Darren Young great again thing. I want to see how it goes, but he's just winning by upsets, which does nothing for the guy. Sure, it's humorous, but it's not really building him up as making him great again, as Bob Backlund says. So I wasn't really paying attention to the whole match. For some reason, Maurice just slapped the shit out of Bob Backlund, and then he got involved, and he was ripping up his shirt, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then Darren Young's choking the Miz out, and I don't even know what happened. Was it a DQ because Backlund got involved, or did he get counted out? Either way, the Miz is still Intercontinental Champion, but Darren Young did win the match, just not in the way not the way he wanted, and not the way I wanted, because fuck the Miz, get the title off of him, and get him off my TV. Anyway, the seventh match was the six-man tag match, with Enzo, Cass, John Cena taking on the Club, which was Gallows, Anderson, and the former leader, AJ Styles, since the brand split the Club apart, so Styles is now on SmackDown and the Club's on Raw, which probably means Finn Balor's going to take over because he's on Raw. I feel like Cena's rapper gimmick would fit really in with the Wigger gimmick would fit right in with Enzo and Cass because they're kind of the Brooklyn type guys. I don't know, it's just me, but I like the whole thing because Enzo Cass are fucking hilarious on the mic. They remind me, they're basically the New Age Outlaws of this era, the new era, as they say, because Enzo's the shit talker, the one on the mic, and then Cass is the one who's made for making the comeback, much like Road Dogg and Billy Gunn were. So, yeah, their little roast session of the club was freaking hilarious. It was just oh my god, words cannot describe how fucking funny this was. Saying AJ Styles has like a soccer mom haircut, and then they started cheering soccer mom at him during the match. It was hilarious. But the club, however, I like them, but I hate this whole beat up John Cena gimmick they're doing because it's fucking cheesy and it makes them sound like a bunch of middle school bullies. Like you could just tell by looking at one of their promos that happened, I think, a week or two ago. Where they were just like, it's like, oh, we get to beat up John Cena, and then you know what else we can do? We could beat up Enzo, yeah, and it's like, oh my god, they sound like a bunch of middle school bullies, and it's fucking stupid. They deserve better than that. So, and I love another thing about I love how Cena just stands around like confused about like what Enzo Cass like when they were cheering, how you doing? He was just like, what do you mean how am I doing? But these two have a lot of chemistry together. I don't think it's gonna be a team, obviously, since they're on separate brands. But you know, it was funny just for like a one-time deal. But it was a pretty good match. There was a lot of back and forth action. Like later on in the match, it started off as a little slow with Gallows and Anderson just throwing Enzo around. It was a little slow. That's the thing with Anderson and Gallows. They got to pick up the pace a little bit because they're kind of slow and boring now. They got to pick up the pace a little. There was a spot later on where Carl Anderson spinebustered Cena on top of the announcer's table, and I thought it was going to break, but it didn't. So there was that. And for the finish, Cena did like the super FU. I know they call it the AA or the Attitude Adjustment. I'll always call it the FU because I grew up with the Ruthless Aggression era John Cena when he called it the FU. So anyway, he did it on Styles from the top rope. He FU'd him, and then 1, 2, 3, he pinned him. I didn't want Styles to be pinned, but, you know, I guess this makes them even since Styles did get the pin on Cena at Money in the Bank. Granted, it had to be because of an interference from the club, but I guess it makes it even now. But everybody was bitching about it because there's still these fucking stupid idiots in the crowd. Yes, I'm quoting Chris Jericho. These stupid idiots in the crowd are still cheering Cena sucks. He dropped the cheesy Superman shit. He got way better in the ring. And did you see the promos he was giving against AJ Styles where he was saying, like, you can get the job done against Roman Reigns? What makes you think you could get John Cena to Styles? Those promos were fucking excellent, man. Same thing when he was like, you gotta take that bullet train back to Japan because you left your balls back there or whatever. Those promos were fucking great. So all you people cheering Cena sucks, you're just a bunch of goons and stupid idiots that can't get over the fact can't get over the old days when Cena was pushed to the moon. But get over it. He's not even like the main guy anymore. They moved all that to Roman now. And I thought, because Cena's getting a lot of cheers now, so I thought that they dropped that. But then there's those stupid idiots that call themselves smart marks in the crowd that still cheer Cena sucks whenever people want to start a Let's Go Cena chant. So, fuck you. He's not the best or anything, and I'm not trying to suck his dick or anything, but he got way better in the ring. Just watch his matches with, like, Styles and Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens. He puts on a lot of good matches now, and he got better on the mic, too. He dropped the cheesy shit, which is what we wanted. Granted, he didn't turn heel, but, yeah, it's too late now. Who cares about a Cena heel turn? So, after all these matches, right before the main event, we had the highlight reel with Chris Jericho and Randy Orton. And when Jericho came out, I was just immediately thinking, what the fuck is this guy wearing? He had like these tight leather pants, his overpriced scarf that he always wears, and he had like this weird like vest going on. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy wearing? I mean, I know he wears some flamboyant things, but bruh, this is a little ridiculous. So then he just like, after he's just telling them, like the fans, those stupid idiots, as he calls them in the crowd, to be quiet, he introduces Randy Orton. Orton comes out, and I'm just thinking, he's bald? I must be getting old or something, because I haven't seen Orton since WrestleMania 31 with that match with Seth Rollins, which, I mean, he didn't have much hair left, but, you know, he looked really bald tonight. Well, why did I say tonight? It's Tuesday. My bad. That night, he looked, he looked really bald. So, Orton said in his 9-month absence, he basically said it, he's like, in his 9-month absence, he missed the being in the ring and hearing the standing ovation that he got, which he got a lot of cheers. And he also said he's like he was so glad to be back that he put up with being in the ring with Jericho. And then Jericho gave a smart-ass remark, so, of course. And then Randy said he's in a good mood, but he doesn't want to drop his ass with an RKO. So Jericho's like, hey, I could give you a code breaker out of nowhere. And then Orton just laughs like, that's cute. Like, he just calls his bluff, basically. So then Jericho obviously gives the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man. And then Orton, like, trolls him, like, he moves up. And then Jericho's like, oh, shit, don't RKO me. And then Orton trolls him, and he's like, oh, wait, I just thought I was on Ellen because of your haircut. And then everybody started cheering Ellen at him, and he's like, shut up, you stupid idiots. It was a pretty funny segment. And then he showed some footage of Lesnar, Jericho, on his big flat screen TV that he has hanging. So then he showed some footage of Lesnar. Fuck Suplex City, by the way. Bring back the Brock from '02 to '04 when he was somewhat exciting and he actually was somewhat of a beast. Because fuck Suplex City, it's boring. Alright. And then, anyway, Jericho points out that Orton has always tried to, he seems like he's always trying to avoid Brock. And then, he's like, oh, I think you're scared of Lesnar, are you? And he's like, why would you bother challenging him? He's a beast, supposedly. So, and then Orton's like, I wanted to make an impact upon my return. I mean, how much of an impact would I have made if I returned and then fought Fandango? Obviously taking a shot at the fact that Jericho returned that one Mania to put over Fandango. So I didn't even realize that until I watched it again. Like, I'm like, oh shit, taking shots at Jericho. And then, Orton also said, it's like, it may take like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 suplexes to go to Suplex City. It only takes one RKO to go to Viperville. And he also added, no enhancement needed, obviously referring to the failed drug test that Brock took. Well, 2 failed drug tests. Brock failed 2 of them. So, that was fucking hilarious. And I'm like, yes! And then he dropped the mic right after. Like, that was all he needed to say. That was fucking godlike. And then Jericho, you could tell he wanted to laugh after that. So he called him a stupid idiot, obviously. And then like he was about to walk away, and then Orton turned him around. And he's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." Like he kept trolling Jericho, and then eventually he started laughing. He's like, "Get out of here, get out of here!" And then he RKO'd him, and he did the famous Orton pose that we all know and love. And he gave him an RKO out of nowhere. So I'm glad to see Orton back. And if you weren't hyped for Orton's return, this promo will make you hyped for him because he was fucking hilarious tonight. So then the main event was the Shield Triple Threat with the guy, Roman Reigns, the man, Seth Rollins, and my personal favorite of that group, the WWE Champion, and the dude, Dean Ambrose. So, yeah, the match, oh boy, this was hype. This was the hypest shit I've seen in a while. All 3 of these guys gave it their all tonight. So many false finishes. It was up there for tonight. I think it might be tied for the best matches. Would be this match and the Owens and Zayn match. I think the Owens and Zayn match was better than this, honestly, but this was actually a pretty fucking amazing match. Like there was a segment where Seth and Dean both double power bombed the Roman through the announcer's table, which was sick. So there was so many back and forth moments, and there was a moment where I thought, oh god, please don't book the Roman Reigns redemption storyline. Because he speared, Seth powerbombed him in the corner, and then Roman retaliated with a spear, Superman punch, and then the spear. He was going for the pin, and then Dean's like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna give you the dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. He retains the title, and it was fucking amazing. Sorry about that little cut right there, but, anyway, so after all that, like when Roman was about to go for the pin, Dean gave him the dirty deeds for the victory. Roman ate the pin, which was good, because, they have to punish him a little bit for failing the drug test. And I'm glad they scrapped this whole bullshit redemption storyline. So, I'm glad everybody was thinking, oh, Rollins is going to win. He's going to pin Roman, and he's going to win the title. But no, Dean retained, which surprised me. And, of course, I was really happy about that. Because, as I said, Dean is my favorite of that group. So, it was a great match. And overall, great pay-per-view, in my opinion. I mean, there were some matches where you were just, like, putting you to sleep. Where you wanted to sleep. But, yeah, overall, it was a pretty good pay-per-view. It wasn't the best by any means, but it was alright. Hopefully we see some more hype matches like this at SummerSlam in August. So, yeah. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this little Battleground 2016 review. So, I'll probably do a review for SummerSlam once that happens. Because, I do pay-per-view reviews. So, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. This is BrolyLSSJ01 signing off. Peace out, guys.